Welcome, everybody, to Snagging Grass and Catching Bass. I'm your host, Brian Likes to Fish. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got a great show tonight. We got a special guest, Chad from Hookup Baits. Oh, man, let's get this party started.
We're on. This just in, breaking news. Final result. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock, with your host, Brian Likes to Fish, snagging grass and catching bass, followed by a parade with the Bass Stash Association. This is Chum Solo.
Thank you, Steve, for sending that in. That's pretty cool. Guys, my intro videos are getting kind of stale, so I need you guys to make some of those short 30-second intro videos and send them to me. Here, I'm going to send you guys. I'm gonna put real quick a link on how you can send stuff to me. A QR code. So that QR code in the top corner, if you ever want to email me, just scan that QR code right there, and it takes you right to my Gmail address, and you could send me over a video, and you could be on the intro, or a video about snagging grass and catching bass. I'd appreciate that. And that's also where you can send me some PB shout-outs. Speaking of shout-outs, who do we got in here tonight? Todd, TB Metal Art. Let's go, Todd. How's everything going in the metal art world? I think Todd retired lately. JoJo's in the house. What's up? JoJo and Chad, who I'm going to bring in here in a minute, are both up in Arizona. Was able to get good cell service, so we're getting ready to do this. Dale Shaw, what's up, Dale? You fishing SBS this year, Dale? I just saw some breaking news, I think, about rule changes on SBS, so hopefully I'll be able to get up there and at least fish that Newport. Spotty's only one. We got Carl Catches Fish Stag. What's up, Carl Black? Also known as Aaron Black. How you doing? We got Captain Dan in the house. What's up, Captain Dan? Captain Dan, you're on your off season. You're not working the Supercross or motocross right now. Are you getting ready for January coming up when you're going back to work? We got Eric, the judge, in here, of course. What's up, Eric? Eric, I was at his shop today. He's doing some work on one of my vehicles. Thank you, Eric. You're awesome. I really appreciate you. Let's go ahead and bring in our guest, Chad. So a round of applause, everybody. There he is. How are you, Chad?
Doing good. I'm sitting in the back of my truck, out in the middle of an agricultural area in Arizona, sitting in my kayak actually. Here and there, and yeah, check it out. I'm in my kayak.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
in the back of my truck.
Nice.
I know.
Hey, like
on
me.
a tripod of boxes and stuff.
Chad actually has his.
But we're making it happen.
Chad actually has his camera set up on a dictionary, which I guess that's what they're good for now, setting up cameras. Chad, thank you so much for coming on tonight. Throughout the show, if you guys have any questions for Chad, if you don't know, Chad is the owner of Hookup Baits. And if you've fished our local bays and our local lakes and you've lived down in San Diego for any period of time and fished around here, of course, you know the Hookup Baits brand. And Chad, you want to tell us a little bit about Hookup Baits to get started and to give yourself a little introduction on Hookup Baits and basically when it started, how long you've been doing this for?
Yeah. So Hookup Baits has been around. We celebrated our 10-year anniversary last month. So we've been in business for 10 years, going strong. We just keep on building momentum, and it start selling baits in other areas of the country, and it just keeps on growing like wildfire. If people don't know that the Hookup Baits are made from 1/32 ounce, 2 inches, like that big, all the way up to 6 ounce and 8 inches. So, and everything in between.
6 ounce. What are you getting on a 6 ounce hookup bait? When would you use a 6 ouncer?
With mainly up in Morro Bay, Central California, and then all the way up into Alaska. A lot of lodges in Alaska use them. But the big rockfish, the lingcod, the big halibut, all that eats that big 6-ounce like crazy. It's like a quarter ounce to spotties is what a 6-ounce tooth of fish up there is. So, but I've caught big white sea bass on them. I've caught yellowtail on them. Al, he's caught big tuna, 100 and something pound tuna on a big 6-ounce at nighttime. So it's that 6-ounce is used for quite a few big fish too. So
I had
black sea
Mutual in
bass.
here talking about giant baits, and he was showing a picture of like a tuna, and you'll be surprised on like a halibut or a tuna or any of those fish will eat. It looks enormous in your hand, but it's really like a French fry to those fish. They just hammer those big giant baits. Oh, you got one?
you're
showing.
breaking up
Dave,
there.
Oh, sorry. Dave Rage is in the house. He says, "Snag, what's up, Dave?" Dale says, "Bluefin on the 6-ounce." Huh. All right, we got a question for you, Chad.
Yep.
From Dave Rage here. He says,
Okay.
"Is Pyramid Lake you fish in California or Nevada?"
And the one with the big trout, the big 20-pound trout, that's Nevada, northern Nevada, by Reno. Yeah, a lot of people get that confused with the Pyramid Lake in California. So California is the stock trout and stripers and stuff like that, and they have smallmouth and largemouth there. The Pyramid in Nevada is mainly just those. Only thing you catch there is those big trout, the big Lahontan cutthroats.
Got it. Perfect. So, Chad, I got a few questions about it. So the shows are coming up. We got the PCS show coming up. I think it's going to come to San Diego actually this year. Are you going to have a booth at both those shows? Or are you planning on doing those shows this year? Oh no. Are you? I think my audio is cracking up a little. Did you hear that question, Chad?
Through the testing and everything, the signal was perfect, but now you're breaking up like crazy.
Breaking up a little bit. I'll ask the question another time. So, the PCS shows.
Now I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Don't touch it. The PCS shows are coming up, and I think we lost them. PCS shows are coming up, Chad. Are you going to have a booth at the San Diego and also at the Long Beach or OC one?
I don't know if we decided on that yet or not. I think we're doing the Newport one for sure.
Okay.
But I don't know if we decided on the San Diego one yet or not. If we get to the size we are now with so many people that carry our baits, it's hard. We're right at that level for having our own booth is not fair to our retailers. And it's like, but then it costs money to have your own booth. But if you're not selling your own baits,
right.
now it's costing you money just to talk to people because you got to let the retailers sell the baits. So we're like at a weird level right now, whereas we're trying not to piss off the retailers, but we're trying to make it profitable to have a booth. So we're kind of in limbo a little bit with the shows right now.
Well, that's nice of you. I'm sure they'll have you up there. You usually do a few seminars at those, so I'm sure you'll be up there at least out and about, hanging out and shaking hands and talking to people. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm usually there every day. I'm helping retailers move baits and stuff like that, and doing seminars in between. So even if we don't have a booth, I'm at most of the shows anyway, pretty much every day.
You usually around this time of year, do you have anything you want to announce on my show live about any kind of new colors or new baits or anything like that coming out? I know last year we announced the squid color, the watermelon, those kind of things. You got anything special in the works right now you can announce on the show today? Put you on the spot.
No. Yeah, actually, I mean, I'd probably get in trouble if I did say something, but actually, I really don't have nothing that's like, yeah. But there's really nothing like I'm super excited about right now that I'm always got stuff in the works. I'm always playing with stuff. I'm always testing new things. But last year I was pretty jazzed about the watermelon jack, and still one of my favorites. But this year, I'm kind of like, there's nothing that's really getting me excited that I'm playing with right now.
Spotty Bess is in here. He says, "What I miss? We're still going, man. Hang in there. We got a few more people in chat here." Aaron Endicott says, "Just a little bit more of the intro." Alex Davey says, "Let's go. What's up?" All the Spotty bowlers are in here tonight. Mel's in here. He says, "Snag, what's up, boys?" Look who else is in here. JoJo's still here. Booth at Newport only. So there's the boss talking right there. That's JoJo.
Yeah, she would know. I don't know those details. The boss knows them.
We got a question. I cannot read the writing there, but it looks like we got a question from another country. Hopefully, does this company have things that are good for bass fishing? I'm assuming he's talking largemouth bass. Of course, so me and Chad were actually just talking about this off air. And hold on, I'm going to enter this. And it's a very good question because we just are winding up our series of Bass Bowl, our very first year. And Chad is won Angler of the Year on that. So, Chad, you want to talk about how you fish these for largemouth bass and how you approach it and which baits you recommend?
Yeah, well, for largemouth bass, if you don't know, if you haven't watched my channels, or I have not tied another bait on in 10 years other than a hookup baits, no matter for what fish I'm fishing for all over the world. So for largemouth bass, I catch lots of largemouth bass on them, no problem at all. And smallmouth, pretty much if it has bass in its name, the baits catch those fish very well, including largemouth and smallmouth. And yeah, I do really good. I just started freshwater bass tournament fishing last year, and I've done well in every tournament I've been in. My always in the top 10 every tournament I've done. Only using hookup baits. So I use the 1/16 ounce and the 1/8 ounce. Pretty much all I use for freshwater bass. Either one of those. If they're not eating the 1/8, I throw the 1/16. I can get them to eat that one. And then we have a way of there's a rig, a weedless, weightless bait, to where you use a hookup bait's body and use a weedless hook. And I was bass fishing today on the Colorado River here in Yuma, and I got half my bass on the weedless, weightless hookup bait also.
So if they want to do that, they could buy the body replacements. Do you still sell those body replacements, or just pull the hook out of it?
You could do that, or just buy the replacement bodies. The medium replacement bodies is what the best size to use, and it's like a number 2 wide
EWG?
gap.
Yeah.
And just you just go right in the nose, and then turn it over and just make it nice and straight, and it just sinks straight down like this, and then jerk it and it does it. So it's really effective in shallow water, above weeds and stuff like that.
I know the lakes we've been fishing lately, I've seen the shad, and they're like way smaller than I normally see shad. They're like tiny ones. So I was talking to, I think, Cash about that, and he was saying the same thing. When you see them breaking the surface, he was just throwing something into that. If you're lucky enough to be around when they're breaking the surface, and if you're trying to mimic the shad, they're tiny. At least where we've been fishing right now.
Yeah. Well, that's when the El Cap, the pre-fish we had the week before the tournament, they were really on those shad schools, and I was catching them on the 1/16, but then I caught one that just like spit out a shad that was still flipping around when he spit it out on my boat. And I held it up to my 1/16 ounce jig, which the 1/16s are 2 1/4 inch, and it was smaller than the 1/16, so it was like a 2-inch. And so the 132s, our smallest bait, is exactly 2 inches. And so I tied on a 132 right after that, after I'd seen the size of the bait. And I started catching them on the 132nd really well. 132nd, 4-pound line, little trout rod. And I was jacking them up really good. So I thought I had them dialed in. Then a week later for the tournament, they stopped doing that. They stopped chasing the bait. Yeah.
When you're, I see him out, and when you're fishing out in the middle of the lake, are you fishing the same baits? Or are you fishing a bigger bait to get down a little in the water column, or do you just let those 16ths and 1/8 just slowly make their way down?
Yeah. So like Otay, I mean, that Otay tournament, I stayed in the middle of the lake the whole day, and I was when they come up boiling, they're chasing shad then too, and they've come up boiling within casting range. I just immediately reel up and cast at that, and I would usually catch one if they're
Right.
boiling. But in between boils, I was using my forward facing, and they were sitting about 20 feet down, and I was just throwing that 116 and watching it and putting it right in their face 20 feet down with the 1/16 ounce and catching those in between. So I got half the fish on forward facing, half the fish casting on breakers.
When you
And I
cast
caught
that
like
in,
30,
and
40 fish that day.
so are you using a lightweight setup? I'm assuming like 8-pound, 6-pound line.
That 8-pound braid to 6-pound leader is my main setup.
Okay.
So,
When
and
you
a
throw
trout
that
rod,
in,
kind of like a
go ahead.
trout rod, 1,000 size reel, and totally packed to the top with the braid. It's all trout fishing. So that's, you don't know, like I've been a pro staff trout fisherman since I was a teenager, and that trout fishing is my main thing. And that's kind of like a lot of people have problem catching those fish out in the middle that are breaking on fish because you have to fish super light and know how to cast a super light jig far and work it up high and use light line and all that. And all that is just trout fishing. And that's my forte is trout fishing. You're basically trout fishing for bass in the middle of the lake. And I talk to a lot of guys out on lakes and they're like, I can't get those ones in the middle of the lake to bite. I go, well, it's most likely because you're not a trout fisherman. That's what you got to be to catch those ones.
And you get frustrated. I've found with the middle of the lake. I give up quick for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't have confidence in the middle. Like all my confidence is up on the banks. Like I don't know why. It's
Yes.
ingrained in my head to work the banks. I cannot. I get frustrated.
Yeah.
If I don't get to fish in 5 minutes out in the lake, I'm like, oh, I'm going to the bank. I get frustrated. So when you are out in the middle of the lake and you throw that in, are you just letting the bait do the work? Are you twitching it? Are you opening your bail and letting the line go? Or are you bail closed and it's pulling in towards you? How exactly are you fishing that as it's falling?
The hookup baits always fall the best. With the freer the line to it, the better. So having a spinning reel where the line just laying on the water, and that's when the bait has the most swim to it going down. So it's always bell open, line laying on the water as it's sinking. And then, usually a lot of times in the middle of the lake, I'm using the forward facing. So I'm throwing a 1/16 or a 1/8, and I can see it 60 feet from my kayak with the forward facing. It takes some time to be able to see a 1/16 jig 60 feet from you with a forward facing. It takes time on the water and working with it and learning it. But I've gotten it where I can see my baits really good now, and I'm pretty good with it. And you'd be surprised how many bass sitting right in the middle of the lake, 10 to 20 feet down. And that's one thing I don't set my forward facing. I mean, I'm in 50 feet of water, 60 feet of water, but I only set my forward facing in at 30 feet, 20 feet. I don't need to see the bottom. I'm not looking at the bottom. I'm looking for the suspended fish within 20 feet of the surface.
Perfect. Thank you for that question. Hopefully I was a good job answering that too, by the way, Chad. Nice. Thank you for that question. We got another question here. It says, this is from David. What's up, David? He fishes spotty bull from a float tube up north, Chad. He said, what's Chad's bucket list fish? Golden Dorado, peacock bass. What's your bucket list?
He nailed it. A golden Dorado. That's one of them for sure. And
Golden Dorado.
Next, that's they kind of they have the body of like a trout, the same fin and body shape of the trout, but they're gold with some black stripes in them and big teeth. They're caught down in South America. Well, it's a freshwater fish, even though it's called a Dorado.
Huh.
So, usually
I've
in
never heard
rivers
of
and
that. Is
stuff.
that local? That's obviously not local here then.
No, it's in South America.
Oh, gotcha.
So you got to go down. You got to go down there to catch them. But that's one of my bucket list fishes is golden Dorado, a big peacock bass, obviously. So, and I might have a trip going down that way next summer, actually, if everything works out. So
nice. Get a picture of that thing. We got another TB metal art. We all know Todd. What's up, Todd? He says, what scent do you prefer? I'm assuming you're talking about bay fishing, Todd, or so what's your preferred scent?
Well,
I guess tell me what you use for the largemouth, tell me what you use for spotties and in the bays.
So he's talking about the mermaid's milk, which is made, make it for the hookup baits. It's formulated to go inside the hollow part of a hookup bait. the bottle we use makes it very easy to get it in there, and then the consistency of it is made to where it goes inside the body and stays in the body very well. And I've played with all the flavors. We got 4 flavors. And we make different colors. Each flavor is a different color because obviously when it's inside the body, it adds a color to your bait also. And to me, it's more of what color do you want to add to your bait more than what scent. They like all the scents. Like one of my favorites in the bay is crawfish, where crawfish don't even live. And then the other one is garlic. Every fish in the world likes garlic. And what I've come to learn is every one of our scents we make, they like every one of the smells of them. As long as it smells like something good, they like it. To me, it's more of like, okay, I have a brown bait, I want to put a red belly in it, or I have a sardine looking bait and I want to put a white belly in it, or they're eating jack smelt, I want to put the yellow in there to give it that yellow gill plate look. So it's more what color you want to add to the bait more than the scent. The scent, all the flavors of scent work. The only thing that changes is what color do you want to put on the belly of your bait.
I did a whole show years ago on scent, and what they found out, I just looked up like the science of it. Is as long as it is a scent that doesn't smell like a negative scent, like they don't like a petroleum smell or a gasoline or something like that, or rubber, any type of those smells. If you can cover that up, you're right. That was what the consensus was, that is any smell that doesn't.
And that's what I found with the garlic smell. I got, once we started making hookah baits, if you don't know, hookah baits are infused with garlic to start with. So straight out of the package, they're infused with garlic.
How are you doing
that's
that?
more
How
of
are you
just a
infusing them
color
with garlic? Do you just dip them, or do you spray them? I'm curious. How do you get the garlic smell in those? If you want to give up a secret, it's a secret. Is Frank in there rubbing? Is he rubbing garlic on everyone?
They have garlic on them. That's all you got to know. When you come out of the package, they're going to smell like garlic.
I was hoping you had like a Newport Bay that's just garlic.
And I don't even smell garlic anymore. People walk into my shop and they're like, "Oh my god, it smells like an Italian restaurant." And I'm like, I don't smell anything. But the garlic that's in the bait is just to cover the smells that you're talking about, the human scent, the rubber, the plastic scent, any kind of unnatural scent that's on the bait.
Yeah.
The garlic is a overpowering natural scent. And then by doing that, people keep asking, why garlic? Why do fish like garlic? So I had to look up everything I knew I can find about why fish like garlic, and basically came up with it's just a natural earthy scent that just happens to be stronger than everything that's gonna not be earthy on the bait. So it's a strong earthy scent that the fish like. So, and that's the cover scent, and then you add the mermaid's milk, and that's the attractant.
There you go. Everybody knows it because every time you open up a hookup baits, you know the smell. It's like, oh, it's like I don't know. It's ingrained in your bread. Like, oh yeah, that's a hookup bait. I can smell it. Okay, man, we got some questions rolling in here too. We got another question from overseas. Awesome, thank you. Any chance there will be a monthly bass bundle? I see there's a rockfish bundle this month. And a few more questions, guys.
We kind of go with this. We go with the season. Whatever I see on social media of what's kind of I kind of monitor what's being bought through the online store and through the retail stores. And then plus the season, trout season just opened. So we had trout last month. And then, just lately, ton of 3 and 6 ounce baits and 1.5 ounce baits are going like crazy up in central, that they put the rockfish season even longer. Yeah. And so we've been selling a lot of big rockfish baits. So we did a rockfish bundle to, we just whatever's selling at the time, we'll make a bundle to sell more of that product. But maybe we'll do a freshwater bass one once people start using them more for freshwater bass. That's the whole reason I'm doing freshwater bass tournaments now. Try to show people they catch freshwater bass very well. So once people start buying them more for freshwater bass, we'll probably do a freshwater bass one eventually. So
there you go. Okay, a couple more questions and we're going to move on here. It says loop knot to the small hookup baits, ? So using a loop knot. What knot are you using?
Yeah. I just do a double improved clinch knot. I like it because it's a small profile knot and it's strong. It's a knot I've been tying since I was 12 years old. But there's people that tie loop knots and they do very well. There's guys that use swivels and they catch fish with the clips on them and stuff. So there's really it works either way. I prefer a straight tie. I think the baits were designed with a straight tie kind of to it, and I like a low profile tie. Like you do a double San Diego, and it's a kind of a big knot. It doesn't look as natural. The one main thing is your tagging, especially if your tagging ends up coming off the side of your knot. That's going to act like a rudder. As you're jigging it, it's going to want to go one way better than the other way because it has the tag end sticking off like a little rudder. So cut your tag end short on your knot.
Oh, good hint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a couple more questions here. David again. He says Chad should make a spotty colored razor clam for PCS. Ooh.
I already did that long ago. So here's what happens. So like I love when people make razor clam, make a ghost shrimp, make all this, and I can match a bait to whatever I'm trying to mimic, like identically. I just get pictures of it. I can match it exactly. And I've made razor clam baits and I made ghost shrimp baits and go out and fish them on San Diego Bay on a double rig and fish it with like a sardine green quarter and then a razor clam quarter, right? The sardine green gets hit over and over again. Every once in a while, you'll catch one on this one. Same thing with the ghost shrimp and a chovy. The fish one gets hit over and over again. The ghost shrimp gets hit every once in a while. And so over the years of doing this kind of stuff, I come to a theory of they eat razor clams and ghost shrimps because they're crawling right in front of their face and they're easy to catch and eat. And then plus they stay in their bellies a lot longer than a fish does. But if you were to put a fish and a razor clam in front of the spotty, he's going to pick fish every single time. If you put a ghost shrimp and a fish in front of a spotty, he's going to pick the fish every single time. The fish has the most protein. It digests the best. Everything for that fish, the fish know that's the best food for it, but they're just hard to catch. These other fish, the crabs and the shrimp and the razor clams, are much easier to catch, but you see them spit it out because they sit in their bellies for twice as long also.
Yeah.
So I think if you're to go fish against razor clam or crab or anything else, fish will win every single time. So after I played with that for a while, I just like, I'm sticking to fish patterns. That's what a fish really wants to eat, is another fish.
Makes sense. That's some good advice right there, guys. All right, you ready to do this, Chad? Let's move on. Thank you for the questions, guys. I do appreciate those. If you have any questions throughout the show, go ahead and put those in, but we are going to move on to this. Guys, on Weekly News, if you guys have any events coming up or anything in the news that you've seen that you want to share, go ahead and send it to me on Instagram, Brian Likes to Fish, or Snagging Grass Catching Bass, or on Discord, and we'll get your event or some weekly news that you send me. First up, we got the World Team Fishing. Have you fished in this yet? This is like a fun league.
No, I haven't. I haven't done any of those.
It's wacky events. Judge always comes up with some kind of, stipulations or rules. But here, let me put a QR code on here, guys. And if you want to join this, there's a QR code at the very top. It's a World Team Fishing League. Judge puts together fun events. We got one coming up this weekend. It's in Mission Bay, and here's the rules to it. By the way, it's you meet at 4. It's a night event, so 4:30 p.m. You're meeting at Dana, starting fishing at 5. And it's going to go till 11 p.m. It's $40 per team. All the money goes, I think, towards the winner, right, Judge? But this is a team event. There's a red line. Judge is drawn across this. Basically, it's the North Ingram Bridge right there. It splits the bay in half. So you got the front, and then you got the back. And on this one, you're going to choose which side you want. So on this one, the red line splits the bay. You and your partner choose which side for your big fish and which side for your small fish. Total 6 fish, your largest spotties plus your smallest spotties. If you fish Dana for the bigs, then SeaWorld side must be for the smalls. So you get to choose What are you going for, Chad, for your bigs and your smalls?
I'll definitely front for the bigs and back for the smalls. That's a no-brainer.
I don't know though. Sometimes I don't know. This time of year, I don't know. I would probably choose that also. I would probably choose the front for the bigs. Maybe I don't know. For me, it's 50-50. I don't know. Maybe. So you choose one side, and you get your bigs on one side, your smalls on the other, and the team that has the biggest gap between those will win the next WTF event. So fun event. If you want to join that,
The biggest gap between the bigs and smalls, is that what?
yeah, so
That's
you have
what wins
let's
it.
say you have a 3 bag of, let's say, 65 inches for your bigs, and let's say you have a 3 bag of 30 inches for your smalls. Then you got a 35-inch difference. So that
That's
score
your
wins.
score.
Yeah, the judge.
Okay, gotcha.
They're wacky, dude. It's fun events.
Yeah,
So
he gets creative with this stuff, don't he?
I think he sits up at night thinking of ways to come up with these funky terms. But it's a fun. It's you and a team member, and they're fun outings. And if you want to go out there and hang out with some fishy guys, November 8th this weekend. Okay. Oh, and if you do win, you get to carry around a championship belt for that month. So you go and defend it at the next one. But there's a big fish belt and there's 2 championship belts. So currently right now, Steven, Jake, and Anthony are the WTF champions. So you get to take that home with you and try to defend it at the next event. Here we go. We just ended up with the Bass Bowl first ever season. How'd you like fishing that this year?
I loved it. I'm all over it.
Me too, man. I had a good time. We had about 40 people enter it. Well, it's kind of tough when you're used to bay fishing. It's a move over, but this is the first year, so it was a free event. We tried it out. I had a great time. I love fishing these events. It was fun to see everybody out on the water fishing freshwater for once. But we're at the playoff season. Playoffs are November 22nd. Otay, we got 4 people that made the playoffs. If you guys want to come down after the playoffs at Otay, we'll be right there at the bleachers, kind of right to the right of the ranger station right there. The awards are at 2 p.m. We'll be handing out all the plaques and giving out the awards and stuff and just hanging out and finding out who's the very first Bass Bowl champion. And here are your playoff contenders. We got Cash, me, Cash, and you. So I don't know. It's basically the veterans versus the rookies, not rookies, but the youth, I guess you would say.
The
What
boys,
are our odds?
the boys.
What are our odds against these young guys? What do you think?
They're both slayers. I mean, so
they're definitely the fan favorites. I think that everybody wants to see one of these young guys win the first Bass Bowl. So
we're
not going to give it to you guys, though. We're not going to give it to you. We're going to try our best. So good luck to you, everybody in this. It's going to be fun. But like I said, if you want to come hang out at the awards, come on over, swing on by. That's on November 22nd, Lower Otay. San Diego Anglers Club, they've got their annual swap meet coming up. I've mentioned this a few times, November 12th. Are you going to be at that?
I don't know. I think I might be in Cedros. If it's next week, right. I'm in Cedros next week.
It's 2 weeks from now, I guess, or not this weekend, but next weekend. But if you want to set up a table, they got vendors tables available. It's $20 if you're not a member, $10 if you are a member. And if you want to go down there and do some shopping, it's pretty cool. They got used gear, some new gear sometimes.
It should be on Wednesday night.
Wednesday,
so
November
it's not the
12th.
Weekend. It should be Wednesday. Yeah. It's not the weekend.
Here's your answer. Nope, you're going to be in Cedros. Ooh, that's a bummer. What a bummer.
See, my manager knows.
It's at the Portuguese Hall, which is right by, if you're launching your boat at Shelter Island, you pass it every time. It's like right across from the Miguel's restaurant right there. You can't miss it. It's right there on the side. We also have the Species Challenge going on right now. It started October 18th. It's going to November 30th. This is, you catch the most amount of species that you can. This is run through the West Coast Anglers. Here, I'll put up if you want to join this, here's a QR code at the very top. Judge, would you scan that and check to make sure that works for me? But there is an invite to it to join the West Coast Anglers. This is run. It's a free event. You just go out there, and each species you catch is 1 point. The person with the most points wins. And if you are just joining, the code is 1830. Just include that code in with each picture. And the judge and I are judging this. You'll submit it. Once you join that Discord, you'll find out how to submit those fish to the Discord. Here's your current leaders. Of course, the judge, I think he's 3 years in a row, maybe won this. Alex Norton's won it. I think maybe
Anthony's right on his tail though.
Anthony's right on his tail. So we got Eric, Anthony, Aaron. I'm sorry, Aaron, Steven. Look at I'm down there in 5. I got all 5 of my species on the pickle run when we went like a couple weeks ago.
So is that 19 species he's got, right?
19
not
different
78.
species.
Yeah,
19 different species. Judge is out there with shrimp on that pipe, man. There's all kinds of stuff out there when you start doing that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter what size it is, just matters it's a different species. So it can be microscopic, it can be huge, whatever. Next up, and the prize was donated. Let's get a round of applause here. The winner is going to win this Shimano reel. Looks like a nice reel too. A club member, Adobo, has donated this. So the winner of the Species Challenge will be getting this reel. I think it's like $289 value. Thank you, Adobo, for donating that. But there is your prize that you guys will be fishing for right there.
Does the pillow come with it?
I asked Adobo if he'd make me a spotty pillow because he's taking like a sewing class at night. And that's the first thing he made in his sewing class. So I asked him if he'd make me a I'm sorry. He just says he doesn't make pillows. He makes pillow cases right now. So he hasn't worked his way up to the pillow yet.
He's such a cool guy.
Yeah, he is. Okay, here we go. This is for you. So there's a competition called Yak Off coming up, and we're going to be talking about the kayak that Chad in a little bit here about what Chad has built for the Yak Off. But you want to tell a little bit about this? You probably know more than me.
Yeah, it's a competition. It's all over the country, and it's put on by Kayak Angler magazine. And they've picked 16 guys from all over the country. They're just kayakers, influencers, or professional fishermen, or whatever, from all over the country. And then it's a bracket style, head to head, and it's for kayak builds. Who has the most innovative and creative, coolest, most unique kayak builds, and it's also who puts the video together the best and all that kind of stuff. So, so I won the first round. Thank you for everybody that voted for me. And then my next round is coming up November 25th. So I need all your guys' help again because I'm going against last year's champ. The guy that won it last year is who I'm up against next. So
looks like you're going against Jake. So I just put up the tournament bracket here, guys. So you can see Chad right there.
So
November 25th.
Jake won it last year.
So you're in the semifinal, right?
Yep.
Qualifying quarterfinals. That's what you're in right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so November 25th, and if they want to watch this, the link right there. So kayakanglersmag.com, Yak Off. Yeah, and so cool. So when you come up next,
they have a show every Wednesday night. So, but you don't want to compete with that because it's the same time as your show. So
you can watch a replay.
Yeah. Both shows are recorded. So,
but hey, no, this is live. This is a live show. But you can watch replay.
Yeah.
Okay, so when November 25th comes around, we'll talk about that and get some more votes and try to get Chad at least the semifinals and then maybe to the championship round. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
We got Captain Dan Very Merry Pizza Party coming up December 6th. That's our club Christmas party. Everybody's invited to that. You're invited, of course, Chad. And we do a white elephant gift exchange. And it's Captain Dan cooks pizza for us all. Captain Dan is awesome. Thank you so much. He brings out 3 pizza ovens, cooks up pizza, and we all sometimes we'll fish before. Normally, we don't have to, but we'll have more details on that. But it's going to be at Mission Bay on December 6th, and it'll be a fun time. I think last year we double dutied, right? You came to Captain Dan's party, and then we shot on over to the hookup baits, or at least I shot on over. I double dutied last year.
You and Judge, you and Judge double partied.
2 parties in one night. So December 6th. Captain Dan says, bring on the pineapple. How are you on pineapple pizza? Are you a pineapple pizza eater?
Heck yeah, I am. I'm down with the pineapple on the pizza. That's good.
We've had heated conversations on pineapple pizza, if it should or should not. I'm part of the should nots. My whole family is a should. I just don't like
Yeah,
this. I don't know the sweetness of it.
it's
And
delicious.
I love
I,
pineapple.
I,
I
yeah, I
love
like
pineapple. I
pineapple.
especially like pineapple when it's like cold out of the refrigerator. Oh my gosh, one of my favorite things. But for some reason on pizza, ain't my deal.
So what are you about with onions on a pizza?
I'm fine with that. It's the sweet. I guess an onion's a little sweet, but no, I usually
Yeah.
if I go order a pizza, it's a pepperoni and jalapenos. That's it. I'm
Oh,
simple.
see, I can't do jalapenos. See
That's a Southern
what
California.
you think of pineapple is what I think of jalapenos. No bueno.
Captain Dan, can't wait to see you down there. It's gonna be a fun event. Everybody's welcome. If you want to participate in the White Elephant, like I said, there'll be more details coming up on that. All right, we got some news here. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but the Western Outdoor News posted this, and it's a map of the Cabrillo State Marine Reserve with a large expansion proposed by environmental groups and Environmental California. Have you seen this map, Chad?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. We cannot let that happen.
So let me read you a little bit about this, guys. 10 marine protected areas, the MPA petitions, are currently under consideration by the Fish and Game. These petitions propose numerous regulation changes, including several new fishing closures. This is just one, guys, along the California coast. One such proposal aims to protect the kelp forest habitat by designing a new MPA at Pleasure Point and expanding the existing boundaries at Cabrillo, Natural Bridges, Point Conception, South Point, Goal Island, as well as Point Doom. The proposed expansion of the Cabrillo SMA is just one of many MPA expansions requesting in this petition. A state marine reserve, the area is completely, as a state marine reserve, the area would be completely closed from fishing, prohibited from taking or damaging any culture or living resources. Ugh. And if you guys look at the dark shaded area, that's the current MPA, which is, we all know that. That's fine because that's like surf breaking right there. That's
Yeah,
fine. Little small
that's not.
area.
They can have that one all they want.
But you can see
But
what's on the petition to close, which I think is 3 miles out. It's 10 square miles. So that's some of our best fishing zone. We just fished through that in the pickle run.
Yeah, that basically the whole area we just fished on the pickle run, we wouldn't have been able to fish. Pickle run would be no more.
Specifically, the Cabrillo proposal would significantly enlarge and encompass 10 square miles from New Hope Rock to South Point Lova, covering 3 miles of the coastline. So 10 square miles, 3 miles of coastline. Ugh. So I reached out to the CCA, and I know you hang out with Wayne a lot, but I reached out to the CCA and asked them about this, and they said, "Hey, Brian, appreciate you sending this over. The San Diego petition is one of 20 or so that is in the bin of category with the commissions. We are aware of the closure for 2 years now." So I guess this is not super new news.
Yeah.
The map's been out for
It's
a
just
while.
becoming public now. Yeah.
Yeah. As of right now, we are waiting in the waiting period for the department to receive the recommendations from the Conservation CCA and their partners have been a part of earlier this year. What will be new for 2026 is the influence of bioregions where members of the public have the opportunity to express their concerns for the MPAs locally in their backyards. We have not have further calls to action until the spring. So they're waiting, I think. They're waiting to see. I think this is like they call it the Ben 2. So they're waiting to see what's going to happen in spring of 2026. If they say, but we appreciate your vigilance. If you have any other questions, please reach out to us for email or clarity. Thanks.
So basically, support CCA first. That's the first thing you got to do. They're the main people fighting against this. And then when the open, you'll see it on social media when the vote, when it comes in to write your concerns about this, they'll let you know. Okay, now it's time to write your concern about this. Send it to whoever, and then you just follow that and make sure you do that part too. And that's basically all you can do about it. And hopefully, CCA has fought these things, are constantly fighting these kind of things and winning most of the time, almost every time. Hopefully they keep on winning, but they need all of our support so they can keep on winning and keeping these things from ever happening. I mean, because that would be devastating if that happened. That's where both the half day boats, out of all the half day boats out of San Diego, fish that area most of the year. They, then now that's going to just cut their fishing area to nothing really. They can go to rock fishing or go down to the Imperial Pipe. That's pretty much all they have to do now, if that's all closed. So it's and then I just went out there last Saturday in my boat. I needed to get my boat out because I've been kayak fishing so much. I went out there and we caught sand bass to 7 pounds and calicos. We caught a big black sea bass, and it's right there. All and
We love
what
fishing
they
that
want to close
spot.
up for
That is like, if I leave the bay, it's either right there or right in front of Mission Bay. Those are my spots. So it would
exactly.
that's
It's simple.
especially when you're small crafts. If you're in a small craft, that's basically the range you got right there. I know.
Or if you just don't want to travel far or whatever. I mean, it's always there, and it's easy to fish, and it's the reason the kelp isn't all the way out as far as they want to close that too. The kelp is that's
half a
much
mile out, maybe.
narrower than what that is.
So guys, I agree with
it's
Chad. Let's go ahead, and this group is good about this, supporting the CCA when we have these events like the Star Tournament or their banquet apps and taps, those type of things. That's a good way to support. You could always be a member. It's not very expensive to be a member. I think it's $40 a year to be a member. Maybe is it still that? But yeah, sign up for a membership and go to their events. They're fun. They're fun events to go to too. So we'll keep an eye on that to see what exactly happens, but it seems like we have to wait to see if they're even going to submit it till spring of 2026, which is not too far away. Next up, fish crane falls on the boat, injuring 2 on Shelter Island. Have you heard about this?
Oh, that's about that.
I'll read you
real quick. I've heard about it. That the holder, the crane broke. Yeah.
A crane at the Marlins Club on Shelter Island was used to weigh the large fish collapse onto the fishing boat October 23rd, injuring 2 men. The incident occurred while workers were attempting to lift a massive blue marlin estimated between 400 and 500 pounds. Location was at 315 at the Marlins Club. That's right by Shelter Island.
On the backside.
The crane, described by officials as older, potentially rusted. Oh, no. Gave away under the large marlin being hoisted up. The 2 injured men were on the boat, were helped off, but it doesn't sound like it was too bad. But I think they had to go to the hospital for sustaining minor injuries. Nearby residents report that hearing a large crash on a metal, initially thinking it was construction noise, and then emergency vehicles came, and the men are expected to recover from their injuries. That's crazy. First of all, it's crazy to catch a 500-pound marlin in San Diego. There's a picture of the fish.
That's the first crazy part.
To catch that fish, you've got to be like set up for that. You know what I mean? Like, it's not every day you're going to hook into a 500-pound marlin. So you got to, I mean, for those guys to land that fish, you wouldn't even expect.
Looks like it broke his bill off.
Possibly.
You see that?
Yeah.
He's where it's hanging onto it. His bill broke off.
But that's crazy. That's scary. I'm glad those guys are okay. That could have been terrible. It looks like it fell right onto their boat. Oh, thank goodness they weren't right underneath that. But 500-pound blue marlin caught off San Diego. That's big news. That thing's probably used to weighing like bluefin that are like 60, 80, 100, 200, maybe 300 pounds. But you throw a 500-pounder on that thing, it's probably pretty rare. Pretty rare. And that is it for weekly news, guys.
No, you forgot something.
Uh-oh.
The day after the Otay, freshwater bass is the champion of champions.
Oh my gosh, I did forget about that. Hold on a second here. Let me get my things working. Yes, so I'll make that now. So if you are a Spotty Bowl champion, if you've ever won a Spotty Bowl championship belt, and once a year, right around this time, November 23rd this year, if you're Spotty Bowl champion, you compete to win the Grand Championship belt. It costs nothing to do it. You're just competing against all the other champions, and you're trying to become the Grand Champion, the champion of champions. So you go and you fish the tournament. Spotty Bowl rules. This year it's in Mission Bay. We'll be fishing 6 a.m. to 1 as normal, and then at the end we'll present, usually sometimes on the water, depending on how many people are on the water, we'll present the championship belt, which you currently have. And the winner
at the awards banquet, I gave it to Judge to hold.
Oh, he is
I thought
holding it.
this champion tournament was going to come up but sooner. So he's had it for a while now.
So the championship belt is the grand championship. Looks like one of these killer spotty belts. And if you win that, you keep it for the year and defend it the following year. Have you won that? Is it 2 or 3 years in a row? I can't remember.
Two. Well, I won it, so it's 3 years because I won it, and then I have 2 defender. Every time you defend it and win, they put a tag on it.
Okay, cool.
So I think I've had it 3 years.
3 years in a row.
I
All
can't
right,
remember,
so it's
2 or
time
3
to
years.
take this belt.
I have the belt, and there's two tags on it. Yeah.
All right. So you're going for your 3rd defense.
Yeah.
Joe just says Chad actually
Yeah.
misses that belt. I would too. That's a cooler belt. So
Well,
if you guys
when
are
I did
a spotty bowl,
when I did my yak off, I did my yak off video, and I wanted to display all my belts, and that's my favorite one is that the champion of champion belts, and I didn't have it, and I'm like, dang it, I need that belt. So
well, we got a lot of champions now. We're in our 5th year of Spotty Bowl. So any of you champions, doesn't matter what division, Shore, Weekend Warriors, Masters, whatever division you are, come on, give it a shot and try to win that. It's a free event. It'll be Mission Bay. That'll be November 23rd. There you go. Sorry, I forgot that. All right, are you ready to do this? Hold on a second here. I wish I had some music for this, but if you saw the thumbnail earlier, this is a show about building the ultimate kayak. Chad's already talked about the yak off and how he built that. So now we're going to go over some of the features in this kayak and what Chad has done to this kayak. So hold on a second here, Chad.
Mm-hmm.
First, I'm going to bring up we're going to go through a slideshow, guys, so you can see exactly what he's done to this kayak. And if you have questions about it or you have any other questions throughout the show, let me know. Dale says, to support CCA, join them, fish all their tournaments. Okay. Eric says, make sure it's a nice and polished Chad. Oh, the belt.
He's talking about the belt. Yeah.
And I saw a correction on here, guys, about the species challenge. I'm wrong. The winner gets a $250 prize package, and the reel that Adobo donated is a raffle for everybody over 13 fish. So I guess I should hit 13 fish to enter that raffle. All right, first up here. So here it is. This is the hookup baits. I have seen this live on the water, and when I saw it from a distance, I thought that was you. And then you came up to me, you're like, how did you not see it? And now that I've seen it, I can never unsee it. I'll see you. Everybody's going to see this in the water. They're going, oh, there's Chad. Because that kayak,
yeah, exactly.
You can see it across the bay now once you know what it is.
Yeah,
so
you can't miss me.
Yeah. So now you're going to have a lot of people following you around. Like, oh, that guy knows where the fish are. So there's our official bay magnet.
That wrap actually matches my boat now. So it's my boat and my kayak match the same exact wrap. And then actually we have another boat, Bill Boyce. He has a little skiff and it has the same exact wrap on it now too. So there's 2 boats and 1 kayak, all wrapped exactly the same.
All right. Well, there we go, guys. Now we know what to look for when we're out there. So Chad, okay, let's start with the platform. What platform did you choose, and why did you choose this platform?
So this is a NuCanoe U10. I wanted the 10-footer because I love just throwing the kayak in my bed of my truck and taking off and not worrying about towing anything or anything else. And I wanted it to be lighter, so that of course the 10-footer is lighter than the 12-footer. And it doesn't stick out of your truck really far. And then also for fishing docks, if you have to turn around and stuff, it's just more nimble. So just, lighter, easier to put in the truck, and this, the fishing tight quarters. And then the NuCanoe is one of the most stable kayaks on the market. So it's like insanely stable. Like I had a pro angler for 10 years and I stand up and fish like 75% of the time. And standing up in the NuCanoe compared to the pro angler is like night and day. It's like standing up in the NuCanoe is like standing up in a boat. It is like you can turn around and without worrying about anything, where on like a pro angler, you kind of have to take baby steps. If you want to turn, you kind of got to keep your feet centered and stuff. You can stand on the rail on this NuCanoe and it's not flipping over. It's pretty gnarly. And then, but then also the high seat, you can see how high the seat is. I'm sitting in the seat right now. It's one of the most comfortable seats I know. I've been sitting in the seat all day today fishing, and then I'm sitting in it now and I'm still super comfortable. with that, especially with the Yak Attack cushion I have on there. But being high, it's easy to stand up because you're already at just regular sitting level, where most kayaks you gotta like grab the pedals and pull on the pedals to help you stand up, where this one you stand up. And then when you sit down, with a lot of kayaks with the seats are low, you go to sit down, you sit so far, and then you got to just fall into the seat. Where this one you can sit down nice and quiet, in control kind of thing and stuff. So it's real easy to stand up and sit down. It's more comfortable because your knees are level instead of your knees being up. And then the seat swivels. So a lot of times right now I'm sitting in my kayak sideways. My kayak's facing this way, and I'm sitting this way right now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that swivel seat is awesome. Like today I was fishing backwards. Like I just haven't, I fished all this area in front of me. I just turned my seat around and I was fishing behind me.
No, that's pretty neat.
It's
Especially when you're going to grab like something out of the Yak Attack box in the back or something
yeah,
like that. I've
exactly.
never heard of a
Yeah.
swiveling seat. I've only been a kayak world for maybe 5 years. So is New Canoe, is that a new product, or just I've never heard of it? Is it?
No, they've been around for a while. They're one of the bigger kayak brands, but just new to California. So
Got it.
Yeah, they've been around for a little bit.
Todd, TV Metal Art wants to know what is the fully rigged weight? Do you have it? I mean, if you put your batteries, your motors, everything in there.
The it's like 85 pounds bare, like when you just buy it, and that's the thing about the New Canoe. They comes as just an empty hull. There's no pedals, no pedal drive for it or anything. It's just an empty hull, basically. So it's 85 pounds, just the boat by itself. And then you start putting the accessories on it and stuff. I can tell you, I've had my Pro Angler 12 with pretty much the same gear on it, and it is quite a bit lighter than my Pro Angler is. So I can't tell you, it is lighter than a Pro Angler, but it's not super heavy, but it's not super light either. It's still, I loaded in back of my truck by myself, no problem at all. So it's still easy to load in there.
One thing I noticed about it on the water, it looks really wide. Is it wider than?
Yeah,
I don't know. It seems like
it is one of the widest kayaks on the market too. Yeah, really wide. So
let's talk a little bit about what you've installed in this. So we're gonna go through some slides, guys, and get started right here. But this looks like a Yak Attack box. Maybe you've converted. Tell me what you did here.
So this is the most custom Yak Attack box you'll ever see in your life. So it looks nice and simple and clean there, but what's going on behind the scenes on this thing? This was built by Carrie over there, Kayak Fishing Supplies. And Carrie is the master at kayak rigging over there. He's been doing it for a long time. And what it is, so that's my forward facing computer, and then a fuse box, and then the Newport battery. And if you ever seen these forward facing computer boxes, right, they're made for a boat. So they're a ton of wire that comes with them. And so what he did, he took my old black box that I had on my kayak before, and that bottom, the floor of it, and then the wall behind the computer are panels he cut off my old box and made a raised floor and a raised side. So there's wire behind the panel, behind the computer, and then also hides all the screws. All those screws that screws that fuse box and the computer to the wall don't go to the outside. They just only screwed into the false wall. And then the rest of the wire is coiled up. Really, he said, super nice underneath that floor. There's a big coil of all the rest of the wire, and then it comes out, on the front of it, and it's to just the amount of wire I need to reach my fish finder and my
that looks perfect.
transducer.
So we put in basically a fifth Yak Attack wall in the interior and shoved everything behind it. That looks good. It looks like that's a Yak Attack box wall, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's like I bet you Yak Attack is going to come out with a kit for that now. I bet you from this build. I bet Yak Attack's awesome. If they see something that's worth building, they'll do it. And so I bet you they're going to come out with false walls and false floors for doing some stuff like this in the black boxes. I bet
it looks like it has
super custom and nice.
Looks like it has a connection to the box on the back right there.
Well, that's the lid. And then the lid has a Yak Attack bag connected to the top of the lid too. So So yeah,
that
it's
looks super
super
clean. He should be
slick.
proud of that. Yeah. So there you
Yeah,
go, guys.
that thing is super slick. And then there's a switch on the top of that too, where I can just turn off the forward facing and have my regular sonar working. I forgot about
Oh,
right above the
gotcha.
fuse box. There's a
That
switch there
that
that
red
just
switch.
only turns on the forward facing on and off. Where when I have the forward facing off, my fish finder still works with the regular transducer also. So it's either or. It's kind of really nice
I,
how
I
we
don't know if we
wired it
came
up too.
across, but when you guys buy your sonar, it comes with like a 15-foot cable, and they're
Well,
super
yeah,
long.
they're
So
made for
yeah, that's
boats.
where he's hidden it all.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
made for a boat. So,
yeah.
and it's not like a cable you can cut and shorten because there's a
No,
tiny bunch of tiny
no.
little wires hooked up to a
Do
little
not
brain.
cut those wire. Yeah, do
Yeah.
not cut those.
Okay, so on the very front, looks like you've got your motor guide,
The
trolling motor.
motor
What's
gun. Yep. And
how's that work for you?
I've used it for a couple of years now. That actually I had that on my pro angler, and then I had the motor guide. It wasn't that one. I had a motor guide on my pro angler for about 2 years, and it was kind of the lifespan of these motor guides, especially if it's you get the freshwater one, you're using it in saltwater, is only about 2 years. And so when I got the new canoe, I put a new motor guide on it, and I've had the new canoe now for about a year and a half, and that motor's about starting to not to work now too. So um, it's highly recommended to get that saltwater one, but you can't even buy a motor guide anymore, anyways. But the saltwater ones are a little bit more expensive, but the main thing is they're hard to find. So both times I went to buy one, there was no saltwater ones available. So I'm like, all right, well, I'll do the freshwater one.
I know
So
a lot of the other manufacturers are jumping in the game. I know now Minn Kota now has
it's the Minn Kota now has the front.
and have you
So
seen the Garmin one yet? There's a Garmin one out
yeah,
there
that's
that's
on the back.
crazy.
I haven't heard anything like how well that spot lock from the rear actually works. I don't understand how that would keep the boat where you want it, being from the rear.
And the price point on that Garmin's it's up there. Let's just say
Yeah,
that. So yeah, maybe wait a
yeah,
few years on the Garmin to see how that thing actually does. But yeah, Minn Kota's jumped into it. I know once you get
yeah,
brand friendly, like mine with my Minn Kota I have on both my boats, the Riptide, that remote, I can play it like an instrument. I don't even need to look. My thumb just knows where to
yeah,
go. I'm sure
yeah.
you're the same way because you're probably got
Yeah,
the
I was
motor
the
guide
same thing with the
remote.
motor guide. Yeah,
Don't
because I had a motor guide on my boat too, so that's the reason I wanted it because I already knew it really well
yeah.
from using it on my boat. So it was automatic on the
I
kayak
think
too.
that gets ingrained in your brain. You've got like
Yeah,
you know how to
exactly.
use it. It's an instrument. You don't have to relearn something from scratch.
Yep.
There it is up on the very front. How's Spot Lock working on that thing?
It works beautifully. I mean,
If you guys don't
that's been flawless. What I use more than Spot Lock is Route.
route,
That and I've been using the kayak now, because like I said, that motor is
just
on its way out.
can you describe route really quick what that is?
So you basically point the kayak in a direction. So you want to go that way, you point it that way, and you hit one button, and it just keeps you going that way,
Right.
either fast or slow, whatever amount of throttle you want to give it. So like when I'm fishing docks, I'll line it up, 10 yards off the dock and go that way. And then you don't have to do it. You're just pitching pilings and it's taking you that way. So it's really good for that. And then it's also from when you're moving from one spot to another, I point, okay, I want to go there. And then I'm powering up to, 4 or 5 miles an hour and I'm retying a leader on, retying new baits on and everything. It's like autopilot.
Eating
So
your
you can
lunch.
retie all your stuff and everything, eat your lunch. Yeah. All the stuff
All
you
you
don't do while you're fishing, you
it,
do while you're traveling to the next spot. And that's what I actually like most about it.
100% I agree with you. It's whichever way the trolling motor is pointed. When you hit that button, that's the direction it's going. So you look at that
Yep.
trolling motor, find something in the line of sight, and click it. Yeah, it's perfect for dock. Same thing. It's so nice to
Yeah.
have. You set that at a slow speed, and it just continually travels, so you can do the fishing while the boat's moving at the same time.
Yeah. And the
If you guys
spot lock
haven't,
is good for when you're fishing docks and you hook up. A lot of times the fish wants to pull you to the piling or to the boats, or if there's wind, you get it blowing into the boats. A lot of times I set the hook as soon as I get that fish coming, I just, like you said, just it's automatic. I know right where that spot lock button is, anchor button. I just set the hook, get them coming, boop, spot
Yep.
lock, and then I'm
Spot
locked
lock.
right there. I'm not drifting into the boats and all that kind of stuff. So
Yep.
that was the best use of the spot lock, was that kind of stuff.
Okay, we got a question, kind of off topic here, but I'll go ahead and throw it at you. How did the sheephead become your logo?
Let's hook up its colors, and it's JoJo's favorite SoCal fish.
The sheephead? Really?
Yeah. If you don't know, JoJo has caught in a 19 and a 21-pound sheephead.
Holy smokes. What's the world
Yeah.
record on that? Have you ever looked it up?
It's 28, because I caught a 24 and a half, and I thought it was going to be the world record. So I brought it in, weighed it in at Dana Landing. It was 24 and a half, and then the record was 28.
Wow, I've never seen one that big. I think the biggest one I've seen is maybe 6 pounds, maybe.
Yeah.
I've
And
never
all
seen
three of
really
those,
big ones.
the 19, the 21, and the 24 pounder, came from the Coronado Islands, and all three came on a 1 ounce red crab.
Okay, a sheephead.
Yeah.
That's crazy. JoJo says Chad spends very little on fishing gear. His wife makes sure he has everything. Oh, okay.
It's tools. It's not fishing gear. It's tools for me.
There you go. Okay, let's move on to, so there's a motor guide. Nowadays, more and more kayakers are going to the trolling motor up front. I see a lot of that every time I go out, and unfortunately, my kayak is still manpower. I haven't got any electronics for it yet, but I think if I was going to get one of the motors, it'd be on the front for those reasons we talked about. But in your case, you've got front and rear. Why did you decide on both? Is this
And
just
I am actually loving that back motor, that Newport 300. That thing is awesome. That's all I use today. That's all I used for the last few times I went out. And and when I went to British Columbia both times, they had a new canoe, 12-foot new canoe, the Ultimate 12, with one of those 300 Newports on it. And I used it there, and it's a single foot pedal. So you just have 1 foot on the pedal, and it's left, right, super easy to steer, smooth. The throttle is super sensitive, and it tells you the percentage that you are giving the prop. So
Is it a
you
foot
can
throttle?
really fine tune the speed.
Is it a remote?
Yeah, it has
Is it
a foot pedal steering. No, it's foot pedal steering, but a single foot pedal, so it's super easy to use. And I fell in love with it there. So once I used it there in I went to British Columbia twice this year, and I used it on both trips, and I'm like, okay, I gotta have one of these. And so the timing of wanting one of these and the yak offs, I was like, I might as well get it now for the yak offs, because I want one anyway, kind of thing. And I'm glad I got it. I'm using it more in the front motor now.
Where would you use that over the front motor? Like, what is the advantage to the rear motor for you? Why would you prefer that?
A lot more range. So that motor is 36 volts, 50 amp hours. So with the 36 volts, it goes forever. I mean, I haven't been able to get more than 70% down on the battery. And the batteries, the Newport batteries are Bluetooth. So you see exactly what your battery voltage is on your phone. And when I went to Pyramid Lake earlier this month, I used it 4 days straight, and it was down to 75%. Never charged it. I don't even know what the range of that motor is with this thing, but it seems like I probably can go to Coronado Islands on this.
I think that would be a good video. Let me know. Let's try it. I'll follow you on the boat.
Just goes forever, and it's the Low Pro battery pack. So they have like one that's shaped like a regular battery, and that's the size of a car battery, the 36 volt. And then they have the Low Pro one, which is flat, and it's almost, they made it so it can fit in a 16 by 16 Yak Attack box. And so I just put that under my seat, is the easiest place for me to put it. And that thing, it's small, you don't even notice it's there, and it has a really nice quick connect battery clips to it that are waterproof. The whole battery's waterproof, so it's like a super cool setup, especially with the new canoes, because it's the new canoe single foot steering system that links up to it. It's just like super nice, super smooth, easy to use. It's like almost like I gotten to the point where I've used it so much now, like how our remotes on our front trolling motors is automatic.
Yeah.
Now my foot steering the boat is just automatic. I fish and steer the boat with my foot. I don't even notice I'm doing
That's
anything.
pretty
It's just
cool.
automatic. And so it's really nice. And the top speed is 6 miles an hour on it.
Oh,
So I
I mean, that's
gotta watch
it
my
doesn't sound
I gotta
fast, but
watch
on
my
kayak, that's flying.
I gotta watch my speed on Spotty Bull now.
Yeah. What was the manufacturer of that motor again? I'm sorry. Did you already
It's
mention that?
a Newport 300.
Newport 300.
Newport
Wow.
Newport Marine.
It's
So
crazy how the kayak industry is evolving this way. You know, if you think back 10 years ago, you know what I mean? Uh, pedal drive, you know, I don't know. It's the kayak is evolving more and more. And I think for our case down here in Southern California, if you guys fish a lot of the freshwater, that is really your only opportunity in a lot of these lakes. El Capitan shut down to nothing but kayaks and float tubes and no boats. Hodges, same thing.
yeah,
Otai, I mean, you were out there. They're like 4 feet away from that thing being shut
yeah,
down. They
yeah,
already half the launch ramp is shut down, and the
yeah,
other half is really short. So
yeah.
I
I
expect
mean,
kayak sales to probably go up a lot.
yeah, and it's a growing industry for sure. I mean, I did a seminar at the San Diego Anglers about this after the Nationals last year, and I just want to kind of you know for saltwater bass fishing, for boat like the SBS and all those boat tournaments. I've won the champion 5 times and, angler every year multiple times and stuff. And nothing's really, I sold a lot of baits, but nothing like sponsorships and, opportunities haven't came from that. But since I've been like hardcore kayak fishing in 5 years, I've gotten multiple trips like to British Columbia twice, to Florida, to Mexico, on the USA team. I'm sponsored by IROD, and I'm sponsored by New Canoe, and by the kayak companies, and just so much more just started happening. And I think it's just because kayak fishing is such a growing industry where boat
Yeah.
fishing is kind of it's been there forever and it's kind of just stagnant. It's just there.
Well,
Where kayak is all new and growing, and it comes with a lot more opportunities.
financially, a kayak's a little easier plunge than a boat
But
normally. I
yeah,
mean,
and,
some of these
and,
kayaks
and
are
gas
expensive,
and,
but when you go
and
out to buy a
gas
boat,
and,
it's a
yeah,
20-year loan on those things.
yeah, and plus gas nowadays to put in
Yeah.
it, all that kind of stuff. It just it's just the kayak, and plus the kayaks nowadays are super stable. They're comfortable. You
Yeah.
got motors. The range of them is big, and you got all the cool accessories. I mean, so it's like I enjoy my kayak like so much that I used to take my boat out once or twice a week year round, and now my boat went out like once or twice this whole summer
Oh my
because
gosh.
just I enjoy my kayak so much. So
Well, there
it
must
just
be something going on because Bass Pro Shop just bought Hobie, so they wouldn't have done that unless they see
they see
something.
it coming. Yep, they
Yeah.
see it growing.
All right, let's
So
go over a few more options on this. So, what is this red handle thing I'm looking at right here, Chad? Let's
so
let's
that's
talk about this.
that's the forward facing transducer pole. So as you turn that handle, the transducer that's towards the back, it spins the transducer. And so most people like have a handle you gotta like push back and forth this way, where that one has gearing inside that square box where you just turn the handle like this
Hmm.
and it spins the transducer around. So the handle stays right there the whole time, and you just turn the handle and it spins you can go 360 with it, and it's super stable. And to get good readings on your forward facing, the more stable that pole is, the better the readings are on that. And that's one thing I've noticed. I made my own PVC one. Was what I was using for it. I've had the forward facing for about a year now, and the PVC one worked fine, and I was worked everything. But once I went to this, I'm like, oh, okay, I see the difference. Having a stable one, you can see you find your lure much easier and see it better and all that kind of stuff. So, and again, Carrie at Kayak Fishing Supply mounted that on there like solid. He modified the plate that goes on there. It's usually just a single nut that it goes to your T track.
Uh-huh.
Well, he made a plate where it made it a double nut. The handle, the net right there. That is one bolt that we ended up putting the net holder on top of that bolt, and then the other bolt is the original bolt that holds the transducer or the pole. So he made it a 2 nut plate instead of a single. That totally made it more solid, more heavy duty. So that was another custom thing you did on that. So that's called a sniper marine transducer pole.
Let's answer a few questions here. The questions are starting to stack up, so let's go ahead and answer a few of these questions really quick. VC59 says, is fishing the docks with a seat that swivels and legs off to the side stable, or do you find yourself facing forward and casting to the side?
So that's the difference of when I was in a pro angler, you would sit forward or stand with your feet, square, and you have to turn your body and fish this way. With the new canoe, I'm faced sideways the whole time, or I'm actually standing in the kayak sideways, facing the docks while my kayak's going that way. In this new canoe, you could stand totally sideways.
and you sit? I think his question is, can you basically?
Yeah.
Can you swivel that seat to the side and then cast to the side, and it still feels stable? Like your
all
legs
day
are
long.
facing the side? Really?
Yeah. That I probably fished like that more than I do sitting forward. I have the seat turned sideways, and I have my feet actually on the rail of the kayak sideways. So that's
no kidding. Wow, that's a pretty good feature right there. Because normally you're fishing, especially when you're using that trolling motor we were talking about earlier, where you have that pointed in a direction like towards the docks. Yeah, you're definitely facing sideways. Yeah, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's a great kayak for that kind of stuff.
We got another question from Bo Hunter Outdoors. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. I am just starting. What kayak do you think I need? Ooh, that's a good question right there.
So that's the thing is, and when we're going to talk about my other kayak here in a little bit.
Yeah.
It matters if you want to pedal or if you're just strictly motor. So this is I've had 1, 2, 3, this is probably my 5th kayak. And if you're going to put a motor on a kayak, in my opinion, everybody thinks they have the best kayak in the world. So, you got to try not to be biased, but the new canoe, if you're going to put a motor on it, that's the kayak to have. It is made for a motor. It has front and bow mounts for motors, and it's made for, there's no pedal option. You can paddle with your hand, but no pedal options. It's made for a motor. And then if you're going to pedal, you might as well get the lightest and easiest kayak there is to pedal, and that's the Lynx from Hobie. That's my other kayak.
I think if you're using your kayak for strictly fishing, you definitely want to get something with a pedal drive. The paddle,
definitely.
The paddle. I mean, you know what? You can get those very, very inexpensive now, and if that's in your budget, that'll get you on the water. First thing is get on the water.
Get on the water.
It's awesome. Get what's in your budget. If it's a paddle, get that. Try it out. See if you like it. And then if you can upgrade to a pedal drive, it's that hands-free.
Then it's a whole other world. Yeah.
And then you go pedal drive with a 180 drive where you can go forward and back. And now they make a 360 drive where you can go in any direction. So I would recommend starting, if you can, with a pedal drive. And then try that out. That would be my recommendation. And I would say a good one, if you're looking for a lightweight one that you're just going to take out for a few hours, that Lynx. I've got one on order. I just called. I'm just waiting for the box stuff to come. So Chad and I'll possibly bought every Lynx in the Southern California here. So the rest of us are waiting for our Lynx, sir.
I did too good of a job talking that one up.
Yeah. They're all. So if you order a Lynx right now, it may take you a few weeks to get. But
especially with the Bass Pro thing going on. So
Bow Hunter, if you're down here in San Diego, Fastlane Kayak Center, I'd go down there and go in there and see what they got, see what you like down there.
And that's the thing with San Diego. We got 2 fantastic kayak shops. If you want a Hobie, Fastlane has all the Hobies you can want. And if you want anything other than a Hobie, that's Kayak Fishing Supply. It carries all the top brands that are anything but a Hobie.
There you go.
It's like, and they both carry the same accessories, so both of them carry great accessories. And the Yak Attack stuff you can't beat. The Yak Attack stuff is awesome.
Okay, let's get back to this live scope. So you've got a new power pole. I like how it has the twist throttle. That's pretty cool. That rotates.
That's interesting.
And if you guys don't have live scope, what that does, it looks like, imagine like a flashlight beam.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It sends a signal out. You can set it at 40 feet, 60 feet, 100 feet.
60 feet is where it's effective. After 60 feet, I can't get it to work. past
Yeah,
60 feet.
that's the rate. So it sends out a signal that it's like a flashlight beam out in front of the boat, and it's actually a live feed of what's going on. So let's go
Yeah, and
ahead and go.
you look 360 all around the boat. You're
Yeah,
just
so that
constantly
red.
scanning, and then you see a fish, and then you have your on the top. I think there's one of these other pictures show that where it has the numbers across the top and the numbers on the bottom going down.
Right.
So that's your depth and your going out. Yeah, so that's how you steer it. You just turn the handle, it spins it around.
Yeah, there we go. There's some good pictures of it right there. So you're pointing it. You can point it any direction, and you're looking for fish like a
So you see
flashlight
that
beam.
that chrome thing on top of that square black box that's
Yeah.
I'm hanging on to? That's the arrow. So that's actually a little chrome arrow, and wherever you're pointing it, that's the arrow is pointing that way. So you basically you see if you're twisting the handle, then you see a fish pop up on the screen. You look at the arrow, it's pointing that way. Then you look at the numbers going across the top. Okay, it's 20 feet that direction, and you got to be. The main thing that's what I found out was the hardest learning curve is how accurate you got to be with the casting, because it's just it's a cone that's going out, right? And then at 20 feet, that cone is maybe only 8 feet wide, and so you have to hit inside that 8 foot gap at 20 feet. If you're outside that gap, you're not going to see your lure.
Interesting. I have not entered the active target or live scope or whichever brand you get market yet, but it's definitely appealing to me.
I don't
So
know,
okay,
and that's regular transducer there. So that's regular. The white one is the regular transducer, and then that's down scan is the black one.
got it.
And that's how I do my boat the same exact way, because both technologies give you a little bit different view of the same thing, and so I like having the dual views of the same thing.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Sometimes one will show something the other won't. So you get them side
Yeah.
by side, and then you get double your money's worth basically out of it.
Yeah.
Let's go through a few of these pictures really quick. Okay, so here's a picture of the live scope, correct?
That's a live scope. Yeah.
Can you describe exactly kind of what we're looking at here?
Okay, so that white line going backwards, or see that white line going down, where that white line starts is my actual boat. That's where the transducer is. So the white line is showing behind me. So where here it says -10, -20, -30. So that's looking 30 feet behind me. And then out in front of me, that goes all the way to 60 feet. It only shows the 30 right there, but that goes out forward out to 60 feet. So looking 60 feet in front of me, 30 feet behind me, and then that's 45 feet deep right there where I'm at. And so,
anything you want to talk about live scope? Since I think
and
this is
that's
the
the
last
other
photo.
thing. So you see the structure right there, right? You see the structure. You look right above the structure. You see those 3 dots. That's my swivel and both my baits falling onto that structure.
Nice.
So do you see those 3 dots there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you can see if you're bullseyeing your womp rat by throwing that in there. You can see exactly your bait if you're hitting the structure exactly. Then
exactly, that's what it is, and that's with spotty or fish in San Diego Bay. And used to, like with hook baits, you get hit on the fall a lot, and so a lot of times you get hit halfway down. I'm like, oh man, they're suspended. I have not in a year seen a suspended bass in San Diego Bay, but what I do see, they come off that structure and they'll come up 20 feet sometimes and hit that bait. They see that bait coming like 20 feet up. And then when they're really hungry, they'll come off that structure and shoot up there and grab it, and they shoot right back down. So
now,
the
does it
bass
drive you
don't
nuts?
suspend.
Does that
They're
drive you
on the
nuts?
bottom. Huh?
So, I mean, when you see you're throwing it in and they're following it and they're going up 10 feet, and I mean, looking at that screen, does it literally drive you nuts? Because if you don't have that screen, you don't know what's going on out there. But are you like,
Exactly.
oh my gosh,
Well,
there's another?
with saltwater and freshwater is totally different. So saltwater bass, when it's falling, they'll just like this day. This was just last Friday, or just a couple days ago. I did this video once I knew I was doing the show with you. And the bass were really sticking on the bottom. So they're only coming up maybe 3 feet. So I'd see it going like about where it's at now, just a little bit more. They would shoot off that structure, grab it, and then you're on. So you don't see them coming very far. Where freshwater bass, they're usually way up in the higher water column, up 20 feet. And you put it right in their face and they run at it real fast, and you're like, oh, he's gonna eat it, and then they'll just stop and put their nose right on it and just sit there and look at it. Where the saltwater bass never do that. Saltwater bass come at it, and that it's a last minute decision. Either they come at it and go back down, or they just come at it and eat it. They never sit and look at it. So saltwater bass either eat it or don't. Freshwater bass sit there and look at it and tease it. Freshwater bass drive you nuts.
Well, that's why we love the spotties. They're so aggressive. There's nothing like me and you've been fishing a lot of largemouth, and there's still the largemouth. It's like they suck it in. You
They
weight,
just,
you know what I mean?
they just put their
weight.
mouth on it. Yeah, just like
You feel weight. Sometimes you don't. You're like, oh, something's on there, and then it pulls.
Yeah.
But spotties, man, they hit it.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's why,
down,
and it's using live scope. I totally understand why a spotty bite is so much more aggressive. Is because they're doing that shooting up and shooting back down. So by the time you feed them, they're full speed going back down.
right?
Where a freshwater bass just kind of come up and go, whoop.
Vacuum it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to show off some of my electronics on my boat right here. So I don't have the forward facing, so I use my down scan a lot. I think, do you have a Lowrance also? Is that a Lowrance?
Yeah, it's a Lowrance.
We have a different color palette. This is my color palette. I don't know. You get used to color palette, and that's
exactly.
like that's what you go for the rest of your life for some reason. I go for this blue. But a cool feature that I like about my Lowrance is it's got that fish reveal feature, and it really distinguishes the fish from the structure or the bottom on the down scan. I noticed on my Garmin, it kind of blends in a little because it doesn't have the reveal feature that I can figure out. But man, the Lowrance. So this is what we're looking for in the bays when we're searching around. And I have a quick video. I'm going to show a video here quick. I think you've already seen this video, Chad, but I'm going to show this video of and I'm going to explain it afterwards. It's a minute-long video. Here's what you're looking for. Fish on the side of a structure. And if you see that, the easiest thing to do is go here and just touch your screen. And you want to save that. So you hit new waypoint, and we're going to call this reef. Hit enter, save, and now that spot is saved as a waypoint. Then you can go back to your chart, and I'll show you exactly where that reef is. Right there. Bam. So we know we're not on top of that reef right now. So we can go back to that spot and drop right on that spot because we know there's fish. A reason I wanted to show that is because with the down scan, it's kind of hard to predict how far you are from the structure. So we see the structure, we see the fish stacked up on that. And what I do is I click on the screen, the actual structure, and then go back to the chart, and that'll show you exactly where that's at. Because if by the time you see this and sometimes get your line out there, you could be 50 feet, 60 feet, 100 feet off of it. Because it's very hard to predict with the tides in the bays, different than freshwater. But with the tides in the bays, you could be traveling 0.5 mile per hour, not even pedaling, doing nothing. So by the time you see the down scan, those fish could be way back behind you. So my hint is click on it, save it as waypoint, go back to your chart, split screen it, go back to that spot and sit on it because they'll be right down underneath it. Is that something that's the same thing you do, I'm sure?
No, it's mine's the Navionics. The Navionics does all that magic for me. So I use my fish finder ad. Yeah. You see one of the screens has my Navionics right next to my fish finder.
There it is right there.
So that's running my Navionics on my phone, and then I'm running a track on it. Also, I don't know if you can zoom in on that, and you'll be able to see the track and all that. But anyway, if you were to zoom in on my phone right there, you would see the track and then my pin marks of where I marked a spot before. But when I'd see the difference with the Navionics is just one button you push and it marks it right where you're at. Like right now, it's down in the bottom left-hand corner. So right when I'm like, say if I haven't marked the structure yet, as soon as I see it on my screen right there, one touch, boom, and that saved on my Navionics. One touch, and it's there forever. And then you have the tracking where you can get back on it, and then you can get back on it, in future times too. And then I like to use my fish finder as a fish finder and then I use my phone with the Navionics at Navionics. And what I found is on the Navionics, you can zoom in tighter. So that's one thing is like if you pull up on a spot and you're zoomed out, it looks like, oh, I'm on the spot, because you're on the pin. But then when you zoom in on it,
Yeah,
now you're
50
like,
feet off.
you're way off of it. So the tighter you can zoom in, the more precise you can get to get right on top of the pin again. So I noticed the Navionic zooms in really tight, really far. Seems to be a little bit tighter than a fish finder does. And plus a fish finder is a little bit harder to zoom in on too.
I'm
Then you
gonna
have
try
to
it.
turn the turn the fish finder screen off to go to the mapping screen and then tighten up it. And so it's hard to use a fish finder and mapping on the same screen, where the Navionics is just mapping and then the fish finder is just fish finder. And to me, the Navionics is a more important tool than your fish finder.
I'll show you. Here's my phone. Let's see if this shows up. Oh, is it going to show up? There you go.
There you go.
So
Yeah.
that's what he's talking about. I have C maps, which is similar to similar, but you're looking for all the structures on the bottom, and then you can
Tells
zoom
you
in.
exactly where every rock is. Yep.
Yeah, you can zoom in. So this is a service you could pay for, and then you can zoom in when you're anywhere, any of the bodies of water in Southern California, and you can zoom in and you can actually see structures.
And it's super accurate too. I mean, if you go to a rock on your Navionics and watch your fish finder, as soon as you're on that rock on your Navionics, it shows on your fish finder. I mean, I don't know how they get so accurate on those things, but it's
crazy,
super accurate. It's crazy.
If you don't have that feature, though, I recommend this is not quite as fancy as a style, but you can click on it, put it on your graph, and then go back to that spot too. And these are the kind of things you're looking for with a down scan. Anytime there's structure, you'll see the fish on the back of them. So if you can't find fish and you have a down scan or sonar or whatever, turn them both side by side, and this is what you're actually looking for in this. And then sometimes you'll come across this, which is a school of bait being attacked by something. Might not be spotties, but it's something down
probably
there.
not spotty, the mackerel or
Probably
something.
not spotties, but if you see that, that's a fish attacking bait. Do you know this spot right here? I was just curious.
That is a great picture of it. Actually,
It's so hard to get a picture of that, but if you know this spot in Mission Bay, you know that spot right there. There's a sunken sailboat in a specific spot, Aquarium Basin, and I saw that. I was trying to down scan looking for that thing just to get a good picture of it.
Yeah, you got a great picture of it.
I know so that I'll just tell you guys, right in front of the lifeguard tower in Aquarium Basin, there's a sunken sailboat, and everybody, that's like my first spot I hit if I go in there. I'm like, all right, let's see if there's something on that sailboat right there. But there's a structure in Mission Bay you can look for. That thing's been there forever. What's that thing been there for?
I found it about 2 years ago. So
it's been there for a while. Yeah. And here's what the grass looks like. So if you have a down scan grass, not specifically trying to find the fish in the grass, you're trying to find the breaks in the grass. So if there's grass, and you find an edge, that's a good place to mark because a lot of the fish aren't in that grass; they're right on that edge of that grass. So
exactly, that's what I always tell people: if you're casting and you're just immediately getting into thick grass, you're in the wrong spot. If you can go a quarter of your tree, then hit grass, you're in the right spot.
So you're looking for the edges. And it's sometimes it's difficult to find. On clear days, you can actually look down. If you stand up, you can look down once you've found the grass, and you can see actual patches of sand. You can see, where the grass starts, ends, and where there's big patches and where it's dead and where it's alive. Polarized glasses are definitely a bonus for when you're looking for grass. This is right there. It's 25 feet deep. Sometimes you could just see the shading difference, and that's enough to get a fish. Here's another structure. If you're this is deep, but if you're looking for deep structure too, this is a nice thing to look for in downscan. Okay, let's go back to the old times. Do you remember when we were fishing this? This was not long ago. This was only this is on a demo mode, but this was on my old boat. And I remember when this came out, I was like, holy smokes, color TV. What's going on here? But
the technology goes fast.
Yeah, I mean, this is what do you think we were fishing those? Maybe like 6 years ago, 8 years ago, maybe?
Yeah, how about that? Exactly.
I'm looking forward to see what we're going to have.
I had the Hook 7. That's what I was using, the Hook 7. So I think you had one level. I think the Elites are one level up in the hooks.
Was it?
I think so. Yeah.
That thing was not very expensive, so but
I
I
don't know.
remember getting
It could
that.
be the other way too. I'm not sure
I remember
which
getting
one's
that
it.
and thinking it was top of the line, man. This is it, man. Yeah, everyone would say you're cheating with that thing. I'm like, what are you talking about? This, but it did the thing. You could find structure with it, but I'm looking forward. And let's go to the next level. This is before this. That's what I
The black and white. Yeah.
had. Did you have that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At one point I did. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
on my before kayaks. I had a little aluminum boat with a 50 or 60 pound pound thrust, the trolling motor, with troller on it, and I had a black and white fish
Yep.
finder on that one.
If you go back to where Captain Dan was, I had Captain Dan on the old show talking about when they very first came out with the sonar, and it was $20,000, and it would print out a piece of paper as you went by. So, I mean,
Yeah.
that Captain
Well,
Dan's Captain
then the
Dan's step is
flashers
the
came, where
evolution.
it just had the flashers in the circle. You know, the flashers and the circle flasher thing.
Or it
That
just
was the
showed
next
depth.
step.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
yeah, yeah.
a fish, it would show the depth, but then when a fish is there, it blink at the depth of the fish. You know, it'd sit there and go in circles,
Oh
and it
my
would blink at.
gosh.
So if it's 50 feet, it would be blinking at 50 feet. Then if the fish came in at 20 feet, then it'd blink at 20 feet.
I do not remember it. This right here is probably my first generation of fish finders right here. I wasn't part of that one. But I can't imagine. I'm thinking with AI coming out, I think the future is going to be us putting on a pair of glasses and the fish finder is in the lens, and you're just
And the
looking at the
lens, yeah.
water, and it's like a live scope looking down. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. All right, thanks so much, guys, for hanging here. Thanks, Chad. We're at 1 hour and 30 minutes already, so I'm going to
Yeah.
speed it up a little bit so Chad can get the dinner or whatever you got to do. But let's talk a little bit about your
All
other
right.
kayak, which is the Lynx.
Yeah. So I love the Lynx. So I bought the Lynx for the USA tournaments. The USA tournaments are all pedal only. The USA kayak team tournaments. So when I did the Pan Am games down in La Paz, Mexico last year, and we drove down. So Ron at Hope Fast Lane set me up with this Lynx. I told him I wanted a fast, can paddle forever kayak that's stable, that can go out in big water, open water. And so he put me on this Lynx. I paddled it for about a quarter mile, and I was like, sold. I definitely, I paddled it as fast as I can for about a quarter mile. Then I stood up, made about 10 casts. I was like, perfect. This is it. So then I used it down in La Paz for the tournament, and then I went to Mag Bay on it. And then I went to Laredo, had it boated it out to a island at Laredo, caught like 10 yellowtail out of it. And then fishing another lagoon, I caught all kinds of stuff. And then it was driven by Cash and Jared. They took it out to Florida for the nationals for me. And then I was in super big, nasty water in Florida with it, where you shouldn't ever kayak. And I was able to go the whole tournament and not flip it. And it was basically because it's so fast and nimble. I was able to read the waves coming. We got waves coming either from forward or both these sides, and I was able to read, okay, that wave's coming. I was able to turn the kayak because it turned so fast, and just position myself for whatever wave was coming the whole day. So you're fishing, but you're positioning your kayak constantly so the waves don't hit you wrong. And or if a wave does hit you wrong, you can recover real fast, so the next wave doesn't jack you up. So I mean, and that was the reason why I didn't flip into that tournament in Florida, where it was like 25-mile-an-hour winds and just super nasty. Like, you should not ever go kayaking in that. But so I've been in big, nasty water with it, and obviously in smooth water, it's amazing. You can stand up and fish on it, and you can paddle it forever. I mean, it's fast and paddles super easy, and it loads. It's only like fully rigged, like how it is. It's maybe 90 pounds with everything
It's
on it.
45. I think it's 45 or 48
Yeah,
pounds.
45 stock, but you put the pedals, the front box, the fish finder, and then the yak attack box in the back. I would say maybe 90 pounds at the most, if that.
So half the
So
weight of about a normally rigged kayak with that.
pretty much.
Once I saw you on that on the pick around, I ordered one that week. So I have ordered one of
Yeah.
those. I fish from a Pro Angler 14 360, like the biggest Titanic thing you get. And the thing that discourages me from taking that thing out is the actual loading it, unloading it, pulling it up.
Yep.
And I personally think my bass boat is easier to take to the bay than my Pro Angler, just because of all the work getting in and out of the water and loading it.
Yeah.
So I tend to go towards my bass boat, but I want to get that Lynx. So if I'm just going down for a few hours, I could just throw it in the truck.
Super easy.
You don't even need the wheels. I hear you just carry it down, plop it on the water. You know, if it's basic rig. So review coming. I can't wait to try that thing out. I'm looking forward to the Lynx.
Yep.
And
it has
you've done a good job.
Comfortable seat. And I mean, I've done a lot of long days on it, 12-hour days on it. No problem, you know, and I just got a simple fish finder on it on that front box, the short stack Yak Tech box on the front. It's just that box. I put that box on the kayak the week I got it, and that box has not came off my kayak yet ever. Like never even. It's part of the kayak. I went all the way to Mexico, fished all through Ball, went all the way to Florida, and all the way back, and that box has never left the kayak.
That is cool setup. That is a cool setup. Fastlane Kayak Center, if you want to go down there, talk to them about the Lynx. They've got them. They just got to order one up. Go down there and talk to Logan. Logan's super cool. They sponsor Spotty Bowl, so I'm going to give them a shout out. What's up, Logan? If you guys go down there and you want a Spotty Bowl or Snagging Grass Catching Bass sticker, just go down there and talk to Logan and tell him you want a sticker. I got a bunch of them at the counter right there. They're free to hand out. So if you go down there, talk to Logan, tell him you want a sticker, I'll hand one out for you. Chad, we're getting there. Let's go ahead and get this started here.
One more thing about that Lynx. I forgot in the picture it showed it. It has that Bixby motor on it. So I added that later. And adding that Bixby motor to that Lynx, now your range is like huge. I mean, because if you go back to that picture before that one, keep on going back.
Where am I? There
one more. No. Well, that one shows the battery.
There you go.
You can see that
pole, it's got like a little rudder
that's control. That pole that's in my hand. That's what you steer the Bixby motor with. It just steers the motor. Where it comes stock, your steering's on the arm of the chair for the regular Hobie rudder. But when you do the Bixby, it replaces the standard rudder with the Bixby motor and its own rudder. So they put this little extension pole, which is actually easier to steer the kayak with. It's you just push it forward and back to steer, and it works really well. But now when you just put your motor like on number 3, like you push the Bixby's have 10 levels, and you just put it on like number 3 or 4, and then pedal, you go like 4 miles an hour, like regular pedaling speed, but you're just barely pedaling, and you can go.
Nice.
You can go forever. Like that, it'll go forever. And I got 2 batteries too. So when we did that pickle run, I brought both batteries, but I made it all the way from Mission Bay to shelter on 1 battery.
About 15 miles too. I got a plan for you. Strip everything off that. Take that 36 volt off the other kayak and put it on the back of the Lynx. And that thing it'll be like up on a plane going like a
that would
12
be
miles
fast.
an hour on that thing. That would be crazy.
That would be gnarly.
All right, let's go ahead and switch to this, and let's get this party rolling here.
We've seen you out on the water. They say you fishing harder. I guess we'll find out this week on our PB Shout Out!
What is up? If you don't know who that is, that's Cal up front.
Turn it down.
If you want to be on PB Shoutout, send me. Brian likes to fish a picture of your kayak, your boat, your fish you caught, your kids out fishing, whatever. I'll put it on PB Shoutouts. I'll put on anything. You can send it to me on Instagram. You can send it to me on Discord, however you prefer. Chad, thank you so much. We're running to an extended show here, guys. I appreciate you guys all hanging in here, but let's get on with the PB Shoutouts. Here we go. Cash, you know this guy, right? Cash, he says, okay, here's a 7-pound sandy I caught a month ago in San Diego Bay. I got it on a 1-ounce watermelon hookup bait with 30-pound floral. Thought I was snagged when the fish hooked, and then it started ripping drag. I also got a 19-inch spotty / hybrid the same day. I don't know for sure what it was. What would you do if you saw this in the spotty tournament? That, first of all, that giant 7 pounds in the bay. Whew. The biggest spotty or biggest sand bass I've ever seen caught in the bay was an 8-pounder during that SBS tournament. But in the beside the bay, that's big, right?
Yeah, that's it. I've caught an 8-pounder out of the bay too. That's my biggest out of San Diego Bay. But yeah,
That's
San
about the
Diego's
limit I've
Bay's
seen.
they's got some
7, 8.
big. Yes, yep, 7-8 pounds is about big as you're going to see out of the bay, I think.
Yep, and I think we
But
all know by looking at that picture right where he's at. At least the guys that know that spot. Awesome. That's his PB Sandy. So congratulations, Cash. Always out there slaying it. Here it is.
Mhm.
Almost looks like 25 and a
Ooh,
half.
25 and a
Legit.
half.
That's a
That's a good one.
legit fish right there. Looks like I got in a star
Yeah, it
tournament
is.
too.
Yep.
Jeez. It almost looks like the size of like a largemouth. Its shape. It's that thing's not only long but fat.
Yeah,
Jeez. Bet you that was a nice fight right there. He was set up though,
that's a
30-pound
tank.
test. That
Yeah,
must have been that's
he had the
odd
right
for him to
line
fish
for it.
that. Yeah.
I've probably hooked a few of those, but I'm fishing 10 or 15 pound, and you ain't got a chance.
No, that's what I'm saying. He got lucky.
Yeah,
He had the right 30-pound test in there. You got lucky on that one. 7 pounds, 3 ounces. There it is on the scale right there. And then he caught this
nice.
fish. Me and you've ran across these a few times.
I have,
Where it's
and
like
that's funny. He asked that about the tournaments. I caught one of these during the SBS tournament, but it
I
was
was there.
San Diego Bay SBS tournament, and you guys used it. Eric, the judge, used it a few times, and it was like a 3-pounder. It was like about that size of that one, like a 19, 20-inch spotty sand bass hybrid. And I asked Jerry, the guy, the judge of saltwater bass series, what if it was a spotty only? What would this count as? He says, "Don't ask me that. I don't even want to have to think about that."
I'll
And
answer
then,
for him. It's not a
but
spotty. There you go.
but then, in the championship, or was it championship, or just one of the bass tournaments last year for SBS, a guy caught a hybrid spotty, and he got big bass,
Oh
and
no.
I think they won the tournament. So it almost seems like it matters who catches it determines if it counts or not, I guess.
And it
So
also matters the person that is looking at it, because first glance, if you look at it from the front, let me see. I think he might included 2 pictures in here. Okay, here you go. So if you look at the face of it, spotty, right?
mhm, yeah,
But you look at
but
the
then it has the
body of it.
bars.
So
Yeah,
if somebody at first glance is, not really paying much attention, and they're not like me and you, where we know what a spotty looks like, what I mean?
yeah,
If you were a casual spotty angler, you would think that's a spotted bay bass just by its
yeah,
face.
exactly. Yeah.
And my guess is the person that was probably weighing it may have just mistakenly think
No, they
that's a
knew
spotty.
it. They knew it.
Uh,
They said it. They knew it was a hybrid. Everyone was saying that's a hybrid, but they counted it as a spotty. So that
but
was
we
that
have
was
the
one of the.
judge. We have the
Yeah,
judge, and he knows the difference between a hybrid and that. So if your question
yeah,
answer is yes, that is considered a hybrid, it would not be considered a spotty right there. Because
yeah,
I mean, to catch a 19-inch spotty is super rare. So we want to make
yeah,
sure when somebody actually catches a 19, it's an actual spotty. So very confusing though. I don't know what
yeah.
happened in
I mean
the breeding
that's
world
cool
out
that
there.
they do that though. I love
Yeah,
that
I'm not against it, but for
yeah, when
tournaments,
you
yeah.
catch a hybrid, I'm like, yeah, that is like it's awesome. It's like a fish that wasn't supposed to make it or be born. He made it through somehow. It's pretty crazy.
In all the fishing I've done in all the bays, I've maybe caught 2 of those. So it's not how many do
Oh,
you think
have
you've
you ever
caught?
you ever caught calico sand bass hybrid? I've done those too.
Not that I've noticed, no.
Yeah, I've caught
Most of
two
my
or three
fishing
of
is
those
spotty bait.
also. Yeah, you get a
Tell me,
calico that has calico markings with sand bass markings on it too. So all three of them interbreed with each other.
and curiously, I don't think I've ever caught a hybrid in Mission Bay. I think it's all been out of San
Now,
Diego.
all mine came out of San Diego Bay.
Yeah. Next up, we got this guy. What is up? We got Joe John fishing right here. He says, there he is right there holding up his large mouth. And he has gone the opposite angle of you in kayaking world. He's still on. He said, well, let me just read this real quick. He says, hit a spotty spot from shore for 20 minutes before work. Yeah, that is pretty sweet. If you got 20 minutes to blow, why not? The past weekend, I got a bite in the river on a 4-pound bass. We were just talking about that's a nice bass down there.
Yep.
I met at 5 a.m. It was super foggy. Within 10 minutes, I hooked on a drop shot with a robo worm in the morning dawn with the morning dawn color. It gave me a good fight. It's been a while since I've landed a 4-pounder. That 4-pounder. My setup was a $60 Walmart kayak that I drilled and installed a pole holder on. It weighs about 50 pounds, so I can get it to the river super fast. And if you ever catch me at El Cap, it's always the first on the water. I've even had I have lures that cost more than my kayak. So, hey,
That's
you know what?
cool.
It gets you in the water and you're catching fish. And you know what?
It
That
doesn't
sounds pretty
matter.
good. A 50
Yeah.
pound kayak you can just chuck in there. And you know what? That's going to make him an awesome angler because if you can balance in that and catch a 4-pound largemouth, holy smokes! If you
Yeah.
that have you ever been in one of those sit-in Walmart kayaks?
No, my
Yeah.
first kayak was a canoe. It was one of those old town canoes,
Oh
and
yeah.
that thing was super tippy too.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, so
And
yeah, I
with
fished out of
those,
that for many years.
if you pick up the wind, it wants to push. Like I
Yeah,
don't know what with those when you sit down low like that, the nose kind of sits up high. When it's windy, it's very hard to track straight. So if you can get good
yeah,
in one of those, man, you're gonna be an awesome. You're gonna when you get to the Hobie or something like that, you're gonna like, what have I been missing here? Or get to the pedal drive. But there's his
yeah.
fish. Joe John, thanks for sending those in. Next up, we got Aaron Endicott. What's up, Aaron? Went on the pickle run with us on the judge's boat. He says, here you go. Since I've started fishing the ultralight setups, there we go. Look at this guy. It's a nice fish right there.
Yeah, it
Since I've
is.
started fishing the ultralight setups, I've been fortunate enough to get a few big units set up as a 1,000 Daiwa Fuego on a 7.6 California CTX fishing in with a 3-inch tube, free rigging. So he's fishing the free rig with a tube bait. Have you ever tried that before? Like take your
I,
body, put a free rig weight on it, and then almost like a drop shot. I bet it would work good with
yeah.
like a weedless hook too. If you're
Mhm.
just trying to slowly drag it around, I bet you that would work
Yeah.
on your bait.
I've tried all that stuff. I catch fish on them, but I'm so in tune with just using the straight hookup bait. It's just, I always feel like I can catch more fish just on the straight hookup bait over
Just what you're used
all
to.
these rigs that are out there. Yeah,
But
I try them all,
sometimes,
but
well, obviously you catch spotted year round, but sometimes in that winter when it's like that slow, if you took that body and put it on a free rig and just kind of
yeah,
hold it
just
around
really,
those
yeah, work it
pylons,
really
it's like,
slow. Yeah,
yeah. He says it's using 6-pound line. His bait casters are all still in service, so he keeps running the ultralight 6-pound. That's our club right there. What do you
yeah,
normally run in for your everyday spotty rig?
10 pound.
10-pound.
Yeah,
I bounce.
but
I
yeah,
never go above
with
12.
that winter time, cold and clear, you gotta go light. That's when the 6 pound and 8 pound comes out.
6-pound really rare for me. 8-pound pretty common, and the biggest I
Mhm.
usually ever go is 12. That's it depends on what bait I'm
Yeah,
fishing, but the lighter baits obviously the 6 and the 8, and if it's a little bit bigger, half ounce, 3/4, whatever, for me it's like up to 12.
yeah. If I'm dock fishing, it's probably heaviest I go is 10, and then San Diego main channel, I'm doing 15 or 20 actually.
Nice fish, Aaron. 2.1 pound. That's a beast right there. But if you
Yeah, it
manipulated
is.
that tail a little bit, Chad would tell you what to do with that
Yeah,
tail and that wisp right
yep,
there. We're talking a
yep. That's
16
that's
and
a
3/4
17
at
incher all
least.
day long.
So he's not a spotty bullfish, but that would probably be close to a 17 incher with that wisp right there, the dream wisp. I went down to Mission Bay, South Shore. Good news, guys. The motorhomes have all been cleared out. I don't know if most of you guys probably don't launch down there, but lately it's been hard to find a spot to park. There was so many motorhomes in there. I'm not kidding. There was probably 100 motorhomes in there. And I wasn't comfortable with parking my stuff there all the time. And they've cleared the parking lot out and there's boat parking back. So if you guys launch at South Shore, it's back to what it normally is. It was getting a lot of overnighters over there, Chad. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So
Well, you see, like when you cross the bridge going to like Dana Landing, they're all parked along the river now on the bike path. You see
yeah.
that? Like, wow,
Yeah.
that's a nice little place to hang out.
Yeah. I did a story on that a while ago. They've opened up over by the barracks by Shelter Island, there's an RV parking area that now you can go park there safely for the people that are living in their motorhomes. You've got a spot to go to now. So what they've done is they've told these people, you're going to get a ticket if you don't leave this spot because now we've got a safe parking zone for you to go to. Been fishing Otay, Chad. You ready for this? You ready for the championship round?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I don't know. My confidence level is medium on that lake. Medium. I haven't done very good. I know all three of you have done pretty good. So I'm going to try to hang
Yeah.
in there with you guys on that one. But
No,
Otay's been pretty good.
I've only been to that lake 3 times now, 4 times.
Come
But when
on,
I
man.
first, yeah, the first couple of times I fished it last year, the first times like I ever fished it was, I was getting ready for the SoCal kayak fishing tournaments, and I started fishing them about this time or maybe a little bit later, and I did pretty good out there. I hooked one that was really big. on forward facing, and that's when I wasn't really good with my forward facing yet, but I was able to get one to bite, and it broke me off on 6 pound. It was big, whatever it was.
I truly enjoy that lake. It's a nice lake. The cool things, you get cell service. El Cap no cell service, so it's hard to run spotty bowl over. And Lake Hodges is closed November 1st, so it is actually closed. So that's why we're going to Otay, because it's got cell service and it's a nice lake.
I've always caught fish there.
Yeah, I've been making a lot of videos out on the water, guys. So maybe next week's show might be a video on the water, because I am going to be out of town. So I've been making some videos, guys, of fishing Mission Bay. Next week, instead of having a live show, I might be just putting out a video where you guys can have live chat and talk about it. I'll be in the desert this weekend, Chad. If a thing I do besides fishing is riding dirt bikes, so I'll be out of the desert this weekend. And then next week, I'm actually going to visit my parents in Oklahoma for a week, say hi to my parents, which I haven't seen for a little while. So I'll be out of town. So possibly that week right there, it won't be a live show. It will be a video, which I'm trying to put together. I don't do much with videos, so it's new for me. Guys, if you have any last minute questions for Chad, this is it. Let's see what we got. Let's see if we got any questions we missed. Chad first. Thanks, man. We're almost at 2-hour mark, so I really appreciate you. I know your time's valuable.
No worries.
VCF59 says, need tungsten powder coated or copper infused mermaid milk or plastic for long distance FFS.
For forward facing. I have people say that, and I have no problem seeing my lure like ever. The hookup baits show up on forward facing very well. They have a lot of glitter on it, and the glitter reflects the back too. And here's a little trick for you. Like if you're having a problem finding your lure on the forward face or finding your hookup baits, use a double rig, what we do with the double rig with the 3-way swivel, but use the number 2, because that 3-way swivel comes up like bing, because it's all metal, and it gives you 3 targets. So you get your swivel and you use the big swivel, so it's a bigger target that reflects back, and then you got your 2 baits. And so that's what I do a lot of times. I use a double rig with a big 3-way swivel. That, if it don't see the baits, it sees that swivel.
Interesting. Yeah, that is very interesting. Okay. So anything you got coming up that you want to announce with the hookup baits right now, Chad? Or anything you want to say to these guys before we call this a night? I had so many questions I didn't get to ask you, but we'll have you back again. I was going to talk about A-rig fishing, hookup baits, and all that, but I think 2 hours.
I think everyone went to bed.
Yeah, exactly. So, a lot of people will watch the replay of this. So, anything going on hookup baits at the hookup baits factory? Pumping out baits.
Breaking up again.
Oh, sorry. I was asking anything up and coming for the hookup baits factory. Any seminars, anywhere these guys can meet you? Anything coming up with the hookup baits team? Oh no, I think.
No, the big news is the USA stuff. So we're having the qualifier again this year, and all I can say right now is you definitely want to qualify for Team California this year.
Do we have a date for that yet?
The Nationals is going to be awesome.
Is there a date for that yet?
Oh, God, what was that?
Is there a date for that yet? The Nationals?
It's going to be in spring, kind of around the same time as it was last year, like April, May, somewhere around there would be the qualifier, and then the Nationals is going to be in September, I believe.
Perfect. Chad, but I'm not going to take up any more of your time. We got one more question. last question here. Oh, sorry. We got a last question here. I'm going to put it on the screen so you can read it. Whoop, that's not it. Can Chad take
I can hear you now.
Clothes to Cedros? And Dale Shaw's on there. It says, can take my clothes to Cedros next? I've been taking my 55 pounds in hookup baits. That's from Dale. I don't know if you saw that, Chad. I appreciate you coming on. Did you get that last question? That's really just a joke, really. But Chad, sounds like we're breaking up. Your phone's probably we lost them. Well, we got the whole show out of them, guys. We got lucky. Thank you guys for tuning in for 2 hours. Chad, if you're watching the replay, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on for 2 hours and giving us a time, letting us pick your brain, really. Guys, like I said, it might be a live show next not a live show next week, but I'll try to get on there. But Chad, we do appreciate you coming on, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, he's back. Oh, maybe. Nope. Good night, everybody. Thank you.